Hey, my friends, Derek from Bomb Socks with more Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ, one bite at a time. So yesterday I introduced you to this wonderful place, Hogwarts, which again, the modern day, or at least the 1830s version of Hogwarts, was called the Newell K. Whitney Store, where you got the School of the Prophets right there. So this School of the Prophets, like we talked about yesterday, was an opportunity to teach these early missionaries, these early brethren of the church, how to be good missionaries so they can go out and teach the world. Well, I showed you the quote from President Hinckley where he talked about this School of the Prophets. Let me continue this quote from President Hinckley. He said, "In Kirtland there was established a School of the Prophets to teach those young in the faith. In our homes and in our church activities, we now teach in the schools of the future prophets." I love that. "In all of these settings, teach with power and conviction and faith. Let there always be an affirmation of testimony in the great work in which we are a part." So this is a cool little opportunity for a family to study together. I'm going to call sections 88, 117 to 126, the home and church activities. Keep in mind, this quote from President Hinckley was long before we went from the 3-hour church to the 2-hour church, where that third hour becomes that home-centered work right there. So the home and church activities, the school of the future prophets, that's what our homes are to be. So I want you to take about 5 minutes, scan these verses, to see if you can find as many things that will help us make our home and church activities a more positive experience where you can understand his truths more perfectly. And what you can do is just take the time, study together as a family, and see what you can come up with. So take the time to do that, and I'll come back and share with you a couple that I like. Okay, so for example, you got verse 118 right out the gate there, where it says, "And as all have not faith, seek ye diligently and teach one another." We are here to help one another out in families. If there is one that is struggling with something, others are there to help one another out. You teach words of wisdom. You seek out of the best books, the words of wisdom. Seek learning, even by study and also by faith. You got to have both of those. You can study till your heart's content, but if you're doing it without an eye of faith, then you're going to struggle. And the same thing as well. Faith is wonderful, and I don't want to discount it as well. But take time to study as well. Take time to look into the best books of scriptures, conference talks, and there's inspired books out there to help families and help individuals and help couples. They're out there. We help one another out. I've had a lot of people bring up verse 124, "Cease to be idle, cease to be unclean, cease to find fault one with another." I know our family doesn't do that, and I'm sure yours doesn't either, right? "Cease to sleep longer than is needful." It doesn't say you can't sleep. It just says longer than is needful. "Retire to thy bed early, that you may not be weary. Arise early, that your bodies and your minds be invigorated." And every person has got to figure out what that means in their own life. It's an important principle. "And above all things, clothe yourselves with the bond of charity, as with a mantle, which is the bond of perfectness and peace." So all through these verses are probably my most marked verses in the Doctrine and Covenants, because there's so many good things here to help our homes become the schools of future prophets. So anyway, I hope those verses helped you out. I hope this whole week of section 88 has been a good one for you. 141 verses. We didn't cover all of them, but hopefully gave you enough to where you get one bite at a time to be able to have some good experiences with this section, because it's an awesome section. Hey, thanks so much, guys, for watching these messages. Thank you for sharing these with others. We appreciate you taking the time to share these with the world. We live in a crazy world right now where there's a lot of negativity and a lot of darkness, and we're trying to share goodness. So thanks for helping us share these messages with others. We will see you next week, and Godspeed. Bye-bye.